Okay, we're out today in the mud, and we're going to do some pros and cons about my favorite tractor ever to exist, the Kubota B7100. Let's see, the first pro about this tractor. I love this motor. It's super cool, rolls coal like crazy, and it's pretty small. So I'm pretty sure it's a D750 and it's making 16 horsepower. Don't quote me on that though, because that's just what Google said. But the only issue that I've ever had with this motor is when it sits for a long time, like when we were rebuilding the front right part of the axle. This will get air in it, so you just have to loosen that bolt off, crank it till fuel comes out, and then put it back in. But a lot of the guys online are saying that they keep, I guess, mistaking that for a fuel pump blowing, but fuel pumps on these are expensive, I bet, so that's probably pretty bad. But other than that, I love this motor. A lot of these things, not these tractors, but similar size Kubotas had a 2-cylinder in them. I always get asked what do I like better. I would say the 2-cylinder, which my friend has one in his tractor. I like the 2-cylinder motor. It sounds great. It's super good. But I'm making more horsepower out of B7100 than an L1501, which is sizably bigger tractor to this thing. Also, his is 2-wheel drive, but it doesn't really matter, of course. So, second pro, I would probably say, would be the transmission. I love this transmission. Probably because of, for example, this ditch here. I just pulled this log out. It's not a very big log. I pulled way bigger with this tractor, but out of that ditch, it's kind of really icy mud. It's like mud, but it's still kind of ice. It's like slush, and it's really slippery. But to pull this log out with it being lifted up, you put it in second gear, low range, which for being a 3-speed, like kind of smaller style transmission, you wouldn't think that you could get a lot of different styles of pulling out of it, but you really can with that low range. If you know how to use it, it's really helpful. So in that second gear in the ditch with the low range on, it gives you plenty of wheel speed to get out, but yet way enough torque to pull this thing, which I've pulled logs that are way bigger, as I said, with this thing in third gear, but just not uphill, and it wasn't slippery. But in general though, I kind of don't like this transmission wise with the oil, because the type of oil it takes, since there's yellow metals in the transmission, you have to use GL1, which is a type of oil that it's like mineral oil basically, but with a weird colored mineral oil, and it'll swallow up a lot of like a 5-gallon pail, but that oil is like $300 per pail, which is it's expensive, because maybe more than that actually, I'm not sure, because it's kind of hard to come by. It took us a week to get it, and the whole point of that is because the tractor needs that. It's quite annoying, but you got to do what you got to do to keep the tractor going. So yeah, which a lot of guys don't know that because they just put normal gear oil in there, which is, I bet you wouldn't matter that much, but I definitely want to keep this thing going good. So other than that, just wise of controls, you have high range, low range, 4-wheel drive. You have your PTO, diff lock, clutch, and brake over there, and your throttle, like blip, I guess you could say, is over there. And another, I would say, pro about this tractor would probably be, it's kind of pro, kind of not, how much grease it takes. I like these axles are pretty simple on the inside, but these knuckles here, they will take about 2 full grease tubes and more. So I have them full right now, of course, but still. So in there, this knuckle, there's a portal in there. Pretty simple. We've rebuilt this side because it was leaking really bad, but it's doing good. And so one of my next pros about this tractor is the 3-point. There's a ton of things you can buy for it, which it is with any tractor, but this thing, like, they're all cheap. This is V4. It's great, really well built, and it's just cheap, of course. And another pro I think is pretty funny is the translations on this thing. So, for example, this is probably one of the funniest ones on the tractor. This check oil gauge instead of gauge. Pretty funny. But other than that, I also love how this thing drives. I would say like it shifts super nice, but that's like pretty good for a tractor that's not been used much. This thing is pretty low hours. In general though, I do really like that about it. I love the front axle. Front axle super cool looking, super good. Interesting front axle. Now on to the cons. Least favorite thing about this tractor. Just I'm gonna go to say the hubs. These hubs are incredibly stupid. Which I've already seen something here, which is not good. This is what holds on your tractor, like the whole tire onto the tractor. And look what we have here. I just caught that. We are missing a hub, that's not good. That tire could have fallen off like 20 seconds ago. Jesus Christ, that's scary. Look at that. It almost fell off. See, because the only thing holding your tire on is one bolt, and I've had these tires fall off many times before, which is not fun, but they just keep coming out and keep coming out and keep coming out. And I honestly think I'm gonna start putting a pin in there. I'm gonna build a pin for it because I'm done with this tractor deciding that tires want to fall off a bit. Next con would probably be finding tires for it. I used to have crazy rice paddies, but the tires were pretty cooked on the 50-year-old tires, and they're beaten up, like really beaten up. So we had to put new ones on there, and these were more like the tires it came with, but you could probably buy tires for this thing when you got it that were rice paddies, because that's what this thing had on it, and they're crazy rice paddies. But these tires are good. They have probably 2 inch of tread. They're Duramax D-Stone, like kind of, don't even know where they came from, but they're great tires. I really like them. They're just like wet ag tires, kind of not race paddy, but wet, muddy conditions. But they're hard to get. Still good though. And one of the next pros about it, definitely parts. The parts that when we rebuilt this front axle, every single part, there's no eBay, no nothing, no used parts. All of it brand new from Kubota, which is super nice. You just go there, they'll get you all the parts you need. Just, even though this thing's so old. In general though, that's probably about everything with this tractor. I need to go fix this before my wheel falls off. That is really not good. In general though, I will say one more thing. Look how good this thing looks. I love that. I don't think any tractor like this looks this good. Thank you guys for watching. That's pretty much all I have to say.